perspective. So as you can see here, to protect and manage shared marine and coastal ecosystems, the UNEP has established the Regional Seas Program in 1974. And there are currently 18 Regional Seas Programs. 7 of them are administered directly by UNEP. And here, when we have a closer look, we are here, including the Coral Triangle region. The East Asian Seas Action Plan established the COBSEA Secretariat to facilitate the regional seas in the region. And the COBSEA was established over 40 years ago in 1981. We have 9 participating countries, which is Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Korea, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. We also cover 6 large marine ecosystems in our region, and our secretariat is based in Bangkok. Let me move on. Yes. And then the COBSEA secretariat, and then we are our work is based on under the COBSEA strategic directions, and then across the 3 thematic areas. First is under marine pollution prevention, plastic pollution, and marine litter, including nutrients. And second pillar is about marine and coastal biodiversity and ecosystem conservation and management, including blue economy, MSB, MPAs, and OECMs and habitats. Some of them are already discussed earlier during our SOMACORE webinar today. And third pillar is about climate action, including blue carbon. And today we are going to focus more on the second pillar, MC framework. So COBSEA, in April 2023, our marine and coastal ecosystems framework has established the program through the adaptation of this framework at the IGM. And under the overarching theme of the sustainable blue economy, as we just mentioned, MSB and marine protected areas and its network, and habitat conservation, including coral reefs, mangroves, seagrass, and wetlands, are under this guidance and framework. So under this framework, our efforts and initiatives have been growing at the national and both at the regional level. And from here, as you can see in the middle, today, I would love to share one example from establishment of the regional collaborative network of MPAs, together with IUCN and other 9 regional organizations in the region. So to move on, and as you may know, and as we heard already today, the East Asian Seas region, including the Coral Triangle, has some of the highest biodiversity areas in the world. It is home to 1/3 of the world's coral reefs, 33% of the world's seagrass, 31% of mangroves, and 63% of captured fisheries, and 80% of global aquaculture. And also 90% of world trade shipping is also happening in this region. And these are significant numbers to consider and important components when we talk about human well-being and the blue economy. How the ocean provides livelihoods, economic opportunities, and food for billions of people around the world. But despite this high diversity in the region, only less than 5% are considered as MPAs in the region. So this is our first challenges and problem statement during this presentation. And about this 5%, we cannot even say that if these sites are under effective management or just paper parks. Furthermore, many countries in the region have OECMs or locally managed areas that are not yet officially counted in this protected area. So then, how can we reach out to that 30 by 30 target since we only have about 5%? So to increase the connectivity and effectiveness of the MPA management and to avoid the duplication of the efforts in the region, collaboration amongst regional organizations as listed in this slide has been started. So navigating connections and strengthening collaboration will increase the effectiveness of marine conservation. So these are the list of 9 organizations and initiatives in the region we dedicated to come together and discuss about this MPA network. And these organizations cover 17 countries in the East Asian Seas region, some inland, which have source-to-sea impacts to the ocean. This list is not comprehensive as some organizations also cover more countries than are listed here. This is just to show how the organization's work or mandate is overlapping each other in terms of the country participation. So this network aims to avoid duplication of efforts and also the competition of opportunities in the region, and also to increase the connectivity, effectiveness of the MPA management as a baseline and objective of this network. So this is a timeline. How did it start? There has been a lot of bilaterals and corridor talks for the need to collaborate, but there was no opportunities for the collaboration. So during the East Asian Seas Congress in Xiamen, organizations started putting more thoughts into this possible collaboration. And next, during the Pre-Our Ocean Conference workshop this year, all leaders from 9 organizations came together and identified and discussed overall marine management issues in the region by using a systems thinking approach. From the analysis, we identified that complex problems getting more complicated, for example, short-term limited funding, time-bound projects of the difficulties to scale up the pilots and impacts from the project. But there were some bright spots, such as collaboration action, regional and local networks, and opportunities for learning and exchange among those organizations. So right after that, during our Ocean Conference side event, 9 organizations highlighted the different core competencies of the organizations across spaces like transboundary, regional, and ecosystem-based collaboration, science-based decision-making, best practices, etc. We identified areas that we can work together to achieve the vision of MPAs needed to achieve in the region. And we wanted to move forward from this fragmented and sometimes overlapping approaches for collective and coordinated approaches. So during the UNEP, we officially launched this East Asian Seas network during the 2 side events during the UNEP 3. And during the first session, we reiterated for collaboration and cooperation, and then we will try to collaborate in mobilizing resources as a collective voice and recognize that we need to incorporate financing small-scale MPAs and OECMs, local communities. We need to consider those areas, and the region has everything we need, and we have the dedication, the contacts, the skills, but maybe it's a little bit separately fragmented. And at the part 2, we also invited the partners and organizations outside of the region. So we explored recommendations, synergies, and strategic partnership, and any possibly effectively manage the regional network. So we explored any opportunities from that. And after the UNOC launch, we have been having 3 monthly meetings, and then so far we had 3 monthly meetings to discuss how we can operate ourselves and what could be the focus areas for collaboration and cooperation. So as a summary from this network, we identified collective action and collaborative initiatives as first, transboundary cooperation for Seascape approach, including mapping exercise. And secondly, we will develop platforms for learning exchanges, capacity building on tools, and best practices by linking existing platform and resources, acknowledging the importance of leveraging existing platforms instead of just duplicating efforts and creating just new tools and platforms. And third, having joint project development and resource mobilization exploration towards regional marine conservation efforts. We have been discussing of developing a C program, for example, for this network. So after this launch, as one of our first steps, we have been started this MPA baseline mapping exercise through the leadership of MC. This exercise is to analyze shared information and knowledge on MPAs, to acknowledge national and regional needs and priorities, and also to establish the effective partnership and collaboration amongst 9 organizations in the region. And in August, COBSEA, ACB, and SCSOP co-organized a regional OECM knowledge exchange workshop where Olivier from IUCN also joined this workshop and then shared experiences from IUCN perspective. And all stakeholders and national practitioners and strategic partners came together and then to build common understanding and accelerate the collective actions in the region. This workshop provided an opportunity to exchange information and understanding on OECMs amongst COPSEA and ACB participating countries. And some of the countries shared it that they are already developing the national OECM guidance document. And then also from COPSEA side, as a regional level, we also presented a draft COPSEA guidance document OECMs for the country review and feedback, and it's still being under development. In a summary, so this year, the East Asian Seas collaborative network of MPAs has been launched officially together with 9 organizations during the UNEP 3 to protect this global hotspot of marine biodiversity and ecosystem, including the Coral Triangle. And after that, as a start, the MPA baseline mapping exercise has been started. This is not only talk about the ecological connectivity, it is also about what is the common areas and what is the strengths of each organizations, which is listed below, and then what is the gap and challenges from each organizations, and how we can compromise and how we can collaborate each other to increase the action and collaborative approach. And also after that, the OECM, following the OECM workshop, the OECM guidelines document has been developed at the national and regional level, and also through the leadership of SESA project, C-Learn knowledge sharing platform is under development, and it can be also aligned well with the existing knowledge sharing platform from the other organizations listed below. And we are talking about the development of joint project proposal with partners, which is planned. And lastly, we are very much open to any collaboration and cooperation and sharing of best practices from the Coral Triangle region, especially to conserve this high biodiversity, as we just discussed today. And thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.